Hello, Chalkin' friends. Welcome to Monday Night Chalkin'. Oh my gosh, we have a fun little project tonight. We're going to do a little painting. Oh my gosh, don't you love it when Maria pulls out the old paint brushes? We are using a very fun transfer this evening. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Super fun, super versatile transfer. Not necessarily Valentine's Day, but you know, it's the celebration of love. So if we're going to celebrate love, why not hold on to each other, right? That's kind of where I'm going tonight. So we're going to paint a really fun background that we are then going to chalk over. And I pulled out some fun little embellishment, guys. We're going to embellish it. So we're going to actually paint, we're going to chalk on canvas and paint on canvas. Then we're going to chalk. Let me back up. We're going to paint on canvas. Then we're going to chalk on top of it. Then we're going to frame it. And then we're going to embellish the frame. I know, right? That's very ambitious for a Monday, don't you think? So I hope you are all having a fantastic day and you had an amazing weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am Making Maria. I'm your Chalk Couture independent designer. It's amazing to work with this product. Anybody can do it. It is full proof. You can be super artistic or not have a lot of talent. And create beautiful things with it. So it just gives you that opportunity to take a few minutes and create something and enjoy a little time to be creative. Because who doesn't like to be creative, right? It's very good for the soul, don't you think? And especially like right now, don't you think we all need something that's good for our soul? Oh, I know I do. So I had a great weekend, which was very good for my soul. Ah, look at that. I didn't even mean to segue right that into that, but look at how it just happened. I had a great weekend. I was at Chalk Couture Leadership in Savannah, Georgia. Very carefully socially distancing, I might add. It was a great time to get together and fill my cup with all of my chalk friends and see all my chalk friends. And I can't get this to do what I want it to do, so we're going to try one more time. But it was really a nice weekend. But I missed y'all. So I'm back. I've got so many fun things to share as we get closer to things coming out. It's going to be a little bit before new stuff comes out, so no point in teasing you too much, right? At least that's what I think. So we're going to get to chalking. Let me start showing you here. Let me get your comments up because I know you're there. I can see some of you are here. Welcome. So if you're here, say hi. Because I guess I'm not seeing who's here. Welcome, welcome. We're going to use some fun colors tonight. We're going to definitely use Wild Berry and Peony. We might use Marvelous. Marvelous is a grayer pink, where Peony is more of a bright bubblegum pink. Raspberry Sorbet is just a really fun, really amazing, magenta color. Hello, Miss Nevada Nicole. Hello, Angie. Yes, I did have a safe trip, and I mean, they went way above and beyond to make sure that we were social distanced and safe, and I've never sanitized my hands or washed my hands so good in my whole life. But we have all kinds of fun little embellishments to do to our fun little creation when we're done. I mean, I'm sure we won't use all of them, but we will use some of them. I have a canvas. This is an 8x10 canvas, and this is a B size transfer. So a B size transfer is 8.5 by 11. Our transfers basically have 5 different sizes: A, B, C, D, and E. A's and B's are our most popular because they're the most versatile size-wise. They're really easy to create and pop somewhere in your home. But a B size is 8.5 by 11. And we're going to do it actually on an 8x10 canvas because it does fit, and then it will easily fit in any frame. Probably you might even have a frame. And canvases are really an inexpensive surface to craft on, so they're kind of fun. I prefer the flat canvases. Have never been a fan of the stretched canvases. I buy these at the store that has this brand, and I like these. I find these very versatile because what happens then is you can have one frame that you frame them in, which is what we're going to do this evening. We're going to do white on white. But then if you want to change out what's in the frame, you just have to change the canvas and store the canvas, which is super nice and flat and easy to store. So it's a really nice solution for storage issues. So that's why one of the reasons I like. I also don't like the give in a stretched canvas, which is why I tend to not create on them. The one thing I do to my canvases is I do lightly sand them. Canvas is bumpy by nature, it has a texture to it, and lightly sanding them kind of evens out the bumps, so it gives my transfer a better opportunity to seal. The bumpier and more textured the surfaces, the more likelihood you have of getting what's called a bleed, because your transfer won't seal and adhere to it evenly because it has the bumps. So I do like to take a minute and very lightly sand them off. So I apologize for the noise, but I just take my little sandpaper and I just give it a really light sand. There's all kinds of other things that you can do to prepare canvases, but I find this to be the quickest and easiest. So that's all you do, is you just give it a quick little rub down. Wipe off all your sandedness. Okay, and we're good to go. So my canvas is, ooh, thanks Angie. I do like that, you know, where you don't have to store so much. You can just pop out your canvases. It's really kind of a fun little way. So this is our beautiful transfer. Audrey Hepburn made this amazing quote, and I happen to love Audrey Hepburn. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. I have a big, huge transfer that you can't see, and I can't flip you around to show it to you. It's a very, it's an old retired transfer. It's huge. It's an E-size transfer, and it also says, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." It's very floral and very gorgeous, and Audrey Hepburn said that quote too. So apparently chalk people like Audrey Hepburn because we get a lot of Audrey Hepburn quotes. So I'm going to carefully remove my transfer from its package. It has this nice little flippy floppy thing on it. That's how you open up your transfer, and you pull it out of the package. A couple of things about the package. This is a nice way to store them. They hang. The other nice thing about them is they have step-by-step instructions on the back of them. So because your transfer is reusable and you can create with this on all kinds of different surfaces and with all kinds of different mediums, it's just kind of nice to have the directions just in case you put it away for a while and you're not going to use it for a while. It's nice to, you know, have the directions. So tape this so that you can put it back in there. So your transfer, the teal part is a sticky vinyl. And the white part that you see is actually not white. It's a silk screen. It's white because it's on a white piece of paper, which is called your backer sheet. Backer sheet is a very important thing. I need a Sharpie. My children were in my craft room while I was gone. I came down here and I found all kinds of interesting things all over everything, which explains why I still cannot find my transfer trimmers. The name of this transfer is Hold On to Each Other. I write the name of the transfer on the back because it helps me put the right transfer right on the back, on the correct backer sheet. It also helps me know which side of my backer sheet is the back. So I carefully remove my transfer from the backer sheet. I'm going to set this aside because when I'm all done, my transfer, I threw it on the floor. My transfer is reusable, so I want to care for it properly. Oh, it's a sticky one. Oh, goodness. I want to care for it properly so that, I can use it over and over again. So because it's sticky, I don't want it to fold into itself, so you do want to be somewhat careful with it. This one is really sticky, and I'm putting it on canvas, so you got to be super careful with the fuzzing process. Oops. Now I'm throwing transfers around. This guy needs his backer sheet. This is from the one we made the other day. Never got put away. Imagine that. This is how you put them away to store them. Just put them right back on the backer sheet, and then you can store them. But what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take my transfer, and I'm going to stick it to the terry cloth side of my fuzzing cloth. What I'm going to do here is I'm picking up some of the lint from the towel, which is making my transfer not as sticky. And I'm ahead of myself because we haven't even painted the background yet. Look at that. I'm going to set this aside because we haven't painted our background. You were going to paint on here, Maria. Remember what you're doing, dear. All right, so we're going to do kind of not a splash technique. We've done the splash technique a few times. For those of you who remember the splash, that's where you use watercolor markers. It's a very fun way to do a background. Let me see if I have one around here somewhere. We've done it a lot. But basically you take watercolor markers, you color all over a plastic bag of some sort, and then you pat it down and kind of move it around, and you get this really cool, kind of airy, cloud-like watercolor background. That's the watercolor technique. We're actually going to paint with chalk to create our background on this one. But we're going to water down our chalk. So it's a very similar technique. I'm going to take my raspberry sorbet. I'm going to put a little bit of it on a tray. And then, oops, and I'm not going to get chalk on my canvas, so I'm going to move that out of the way. And I've got chalk on here. I need to wipe that off, or I am going to end up with it all over everything. Oops, like so. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, we're just going to use peony and raspberry sorbet because I don't want to make it too colored. I want it to be light and airy. So we're going to take a little bit of peony. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them, we might need a little more of this one. Actually, probably not, because we're going to water them down. You don't want to use too much chalk because you're not going to be able to really put it back in the container because we're going to water it down. Oops, I might be out of water. So add a little water to your chalk. I am out of water. And then just basically dilute your chalk. So you just put it on, you can put it on a plate. Paper plates work. Regular plates work because you can put them in the dishwasher when you're done. And I'm just going to dilute my chalk. I need to add water because I'm out of water. I do put distilled water in my mister. Not distilled water, but regular, you know. I don't put tap water in here. So I'm just filling her up. And I'm about to make a water mess because I put too much water in. Okay. There we go. I do want this watery. Way too watery to actually chalk with it. Because basically I'm making watercolor paints. Now what you can do, if you like the watercolor look, is you can actually do this and let them dry on the trays when you're done. So when I'm all done, I can leave it on the tray and let it dry. And then it becomes like a kid's watercolor palette. And then the next time you want to use it, you just give it a little spray of water, or you just put a little water on your paintbrush and get it wet. Just remember, like those, like our kids have those little round, you know, those little strips that have the little round things that watercolor paints in them. Basically, it's the same thing. So don't feel like you have to waste this chalk. Now, if your regular chalk is looking a little dry, you could add this to it, even though it's, you know, watery. I'm going to do the same thing here with peony. Yeah, peony. That's what this is. So I have to tell you, I'm super excited about one of the new colors that's coming, and I can't wait to tell you. So I'm telling you, even though I probably shouldn't. There is a new, it's called Melon, but I would tell you it's pink. It's a rose gold pink. There is a new shimmer, and I have to tell you, it is the most beautiful color I think I have ever seen. It is stunning, stunning when done. It's a super pale pink, almost peachy pink, not a bright pink, but it's a super pale pink that has a shimmer in it, and it is gorgeous. Absolutely, positively gorgeous. It's one of the new colors coming. There's another new shimmer as well called Splash, which is it's not as dark as Cadet, and it's more like Tide, where it's a blue, not super tealy like Cadet, but a little blue. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So we've got some fun new colors coming, as we do every season. New stuff doesn't come out for a while yet, though, so it's going to be a bit. But I just wanted to give you a little teaser because we've got beautiful new things coming. All right, so I'm really, really watered down. And I'm going to take my canvas now, and we're going to watercolor on it. So I take my paintbrush, and I'm going to go light to dark, and I just get it wet. Where's my transfer? It's on here. Okay, so I'm just going to and I would tell you this is still almost too. I'm just going to, you know, kind of paint. Kind of whimsy. I'm not trying to, you know, do anything real fancy here. Give it kind of that wispy end look. Over here it's getting wispy, but it's not too wispy over here. If it gets too dark in one place, you just add water. So you can, the canvas gives you some wiggle room with how you do it. So you're going to go about halfway down, and then we're going to switch. We could overlap them a little bit too, and that would almost give us a slight ombre look. So just going up here a little bit. But I want it to look, you know, kind of splashy. Okay. So if I wanted to, I could get my paintbrush a little more wet now, and I can totally move it around to make it look a little less paint, you know, give it a little more wispy to it. So you can totally play with it by just getting it wet again. Okay, so I'm wiping off my paintbrush. Now I'm going to start here with this guy. Same thing, very lightly. I'm going to overlap them a little so I get a little bit of that ombre look. So they kind of just blend together. So you just paint. It's kind of fun. Reminds me of, you know, my kids. But it will be really pretty in a technique as a background because, you know, the sentiment is really going to shine. And if you get it where you don't want it, like I got it too far over here, I can just wash it off. Canvas is very forgiving with chalk. I don't know if it's, obviously I'm not a painter, so I talk about that often, right? Don't give me a paintbrush, I can't paint anything. But I have found with chalk, you know, it washes right off. So if I get it where I don't want it, I can just wash it. So I've just kind of got this look. Again, I can get my paintbrush wet and just add more water to it. I'm going to put a little more peony in here. Again, to work just a little bit more on that ombre part where they kind of blend. Kind of get them a little bit more mixed up. Okay. So you can see I kind of have the 3 different colors going on. Voila. So now we're going to dry it. Dries really quickly because it's, you know, a very watery, thin layer of paint. Oops, and see I got a big old blob there. Very easy, I'm just going to wipe it right off. But this won't take much to dry. The middle part obviously is where I have the 2 layers of chalk, so I just need to dry it a little more in the middle. And I want to wash this little spot off before I dry it up here. Because once I dry it, I can still wash it off if I dry it. But, okay, so I'm just getting it dry. And again, I'm working more in the middle because that's where I have the double layer of paint. So the transfer that we're using this evening is part of the Make It Monday bundle, which is in the Making Maria Crafty community. The bundle comes with a Grayson board, which is a beautiful square chalkboard. It's the one I use probably the most. It's a 8.5 by, or it's a 9 by 12 chalkboard. It's a black board with a white frame. This one. So I can do all things through Christ frame. That's the Grayson. I should have grabbed one. So the bundle comes with the transfer and it comes with the chalkboard. I do really want to make sure that my chalk is dry before I place my transfer on top of it. We're good and dry. Because my transfer will pull up the chalk. Okay. Yeah, we're good and dry. Perfect. So now see, these little guys have all this leftover paste on it. Now if my chalk paste was looking dry, I could add it to my chalk paste and stir it up. There's such a little amount left that it wouldn't be a big deal to do that. Or I can just let them dry, you know, make it, smooth it out onto the tray and let it dry on the tray. And then again, next time I want to use it, those colors, to do a technique like this, I can simply have two little chunks of chalk. I want to try to get off because I don't want them to stop my transfer from sticking. Okay, so we are good and dry. Okay, so now we're going to lay our transfer down. So if you're not in the Making Maria Crafty community and you'd like to be in the Making Maria Crafty community, you can simply comment add me and I will send you the link. And you can get, wow, this sucker's sticky. He is super sticky, so I want to make sure I really fuzz him because I don't want to pull off this background that we just put up. If you are watching me on YouTube and you are enjoying my video, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. I've been on a roll on my YouTube subscribers, so thank you to those of you who are hanging out with me on YouTube. Okay. So my YouTube channel is Making Maria. It's just as easy to find me there as it is to find me on Facebook. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to use my fleecy thing now because this guy is sticky. Super sticky. That's what happens with new transfers. And you want them to be sticky. You don't want them to pull off your background. Alright, so I take my transfer. I'm going to put it on our surface where I want it. Make sure that I'm straight. I'm not feeling like I'm straight. Would help if my board was straight. So I'm using the lines on my mat to help me get my transfer straight. It's one of my tricks is to use the lines. Okay, so now I'm just gently going to seal over my letters. I'm not going to push too hard again because I don't want to. But some of these letters are little itty bitty guys. Sorry, I had to do a quick errand. What is the surface? Nevada Nicole, I'm using a canvas. Just a regular, everyday. I buy them in packs of 5 at that big craft store. You know, their canvas panels value pack. I buy 5 of them. They're not expensive. It's an 8x10. So I can just pop it right into an 8x10 frame. And then it's really easy to change out your decor because you can just store the panel. So it's really nice, especially if you're going to do holiday decor. Okay, so we're going to just go right over this with Storm, which is a super fun gunmetal gray. And give it a stir. And I'm going to give it a drink. So your chalk paste you want to be creamy. So I'm just adding a little bit of water because they do dry out as they sit. I'm going to take a squeegee. We're ready to chalk. Look at that. Okay, so I have an angled squeegee and a flat side and an angled side. Angled side is the front of my squeegee. I take my squeegee, I dip it, fill it up with chalk paste. This is way more chalk paste than I need. And I'm going to just carefully squeegee it over the silkscreen. That is how easy this is to do. Anybody can do this. Put all that excess right back in my container. Smooth out any lines that I may have. Like so. Make sure my whole silk screen is covered. I missed the corner of that T. I'm holding my squeegee straight up and down and just going across, putting all the excess back in my container, and I'm carefully going to remove my transfer. And voila. It'll be easier for you to see in a minute. I'm going to put this in my water bath. I'm going to rinse it with cool water. I'm going to rub up and down the back of it like this because that's going to take all that fuzzing that I did, all that fuzzy linty stuff. It'll come right off in the water. Then I'm going to let it dry or dry it with a towel, either way. And then I'm going to, oops. And then what I will do is I will put it back on its backer sheet. And it's good to go, ready to be used again. I can use it with chalk, I can use it with ink, I can use it with etching cream. So this would be a really pretty transfer etched on the actual glass of a picture frame that you could put over like a wedding picture. I think this is a really nice transfer for wedding season between the showers and... Okay, so I'm going to give it a quick dry. I should have gone over this way more. So I'm drying my chalk paste again. I don't think I can fix it either. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. So it's just the 2 colors of chalk paste that we went over the back with. We just watered them down. I should have gone a little bit farther. Let's see if we can. I don't want to ruin it. Hey, Kara. I'm probably going to ruin it, but we're going to try not to. Let's see if I can get it over a little bit more. You guys will know, but nobody else is going to know that we did it farther. Right? You're just going to add a little bit more. Try to not go over the gray. I just didn't get it over far enough when I put it down. There, that's better. It's getting better anyway. That's one of the beautiful things about chalk, is it is so easy to fix things. It's one of the things I love about chalk. One of the many things I love about chalk. Is it takes somebody like me who doesn't have a ton of creative artistic ability, and it gives me the ability to create pretty things. But if they don't turn out right away, the way I want them to, it's almost always fixable. I do say almost always, it isn't always, but it is almost always fixable. This one needs a little more. Okay. So I got just going over a little bit more. Ooh, that's way too dark. So now I gotta just pull a little more of the darkness because I did it way too dark over here. Because this is my section that I blended with the two colors. So now I'm just blending it on my little thing here. I'm gonna soften that up a little. Just get it over more. That's better. It's still not quite perfect, but it's as good, I think, as we're gonna get it. There we go. Now I messed it up. Now I gotta fix it. It's getting better though. Problem is the short brush strokes. You really need the big brush strokes. You need the big gaping brush strokes, right? Okay, so it's better. Just gonna do one more. Up here, so it doesn't have that line. I need to stop. Walk away, Maria. Put the chalk down. All right, so it's better. Just wash out your chalkboard, or paintbrush. Wash off where I put all the chalk all over everything. I'm gonna give it a quick dry. We're gonna throw it in the frame, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna embellish the frame. Because you can totally embellish frames. But I added a lot more water this time, so it's just going to take me a second to dry it. Okay. So what we're going to do is have this really pretty little frame. We're going to cut her open. My trick to these frames is, you know how it has all these little, I hate these things. I realize how they do, however, serve a purpose. So I take a butter knife. I have a designated butter knife that this is the only purpose it has. It's from like 5 million sets ago of silverware. You know, what is it about silverware that you have to buy new silverware? You'd think silverware would last a really long time. Okay, so I'm going to take out and it has a mat with it. I don't need the mat. I'm going to take the mat out, make sure I'm dry, which I am. Stick this bad boy in here. So that's one of the, I mean, this really is a very easy way to change up your home, is just make a new canvas. You can make a new canvas for every season, and it gives you that just little pop of decor. This particular transfer I don't really feel is Valentine's Day. Look at how pretty that is. It's gorgeous. Love it. Oh my gosh, it's even cuter in the frame. Okay, so what I want to do, and maybe it doesn't need it, but I thought we would embellish it a little bit with some funness, because who doesn't need funness, right? I got a couple different things that we can do, but I wanted to start with just a little bit of twine and a piece of tape. Well, we'll just use painter's tape because that's what I have right here, but normally I wouldn't use painter's tape for this. So I'm going to just grab a little bit of tape and I'm going to tape it down here. And then what I want to do is I just want to wrap it a couple times around the base of my frame, just to give me a little something on the bottom. Right, we're going to zhuzh it up. And you can crisscross them. You don't necessarily want them to be, you know, straight around. You want them to be, you know, kind of wonky. And then what I thought we would do is have these cute little keys. Key to my heart, right? These are cute little metal keys. Oh, they're stickers. I didn't realize they were stickers. I just thought they were. Okay, now I have to take them out because they're stickers. I got them in the scrapbook section. Ooh. That's interesting. It says it's a sticker, but it's not really a sticker. All right, so I thought we would hang one of these. Maybe that one's too small. I was debating on the size. Maybe we need a bigger one. Let's try this guy. I mean, they do have a sticky thing that I think I'm supposed to take it off. But let's do, this guy's bigger. He needs a bigger one. Put this guy back in there. And then I have these really cute little paper hearts. Open these up. So I saw this thing on Facebook. No, Pinterest, about things to do for your kids for Valentine's Day. And one of them was on February 1st, start this on February 1st, I think I posted that in the group. I'll look. If I didn't post it in the group, I will post it in the group. But it was on Valentine's Day to take a heart and write on a heart every day one reason why you love them. Maybe we need the bigger heart. And stick it on their door to their room every morning. So every morning, or night. So every morning when they wake up to something that you love about them, so that they have all this positive reinforcement. So I bought these hearts, these little hearts, to do that for them. Maybe it's got to go over here because we don't want to cover up Audrey Hepburn. Or maybe it should go up at top, because that's where that color pink is. We'll work on it. I've been working on trying to, you know, improve my embellishing skills. And then I thought we would just put some fun little ribbon. So it goes with our mantle, right? Because we have a specific color of mantle that we are doing. I think this is too, I mean, it's the right size for up there. But I don't know if I can get this up. I can try it. Let's try moving this. Nicole likes a smaller heart. You think at the bottom or at the top? You could do it up here and then hang it here. Is it top heavy then? So this is what it would look like at the top, and then we're gonna do some fun, you know, little ribbons with it. I need a pink ribbon though. We're gonna do some fun little pink ribbon and black and white. Do a little magenta. And then we're just gonna, you know, nothing super fancy. Just a little fun little tie-on thing, not a bow or anything. I love these little pom-pom guys. They're one of my favorites. Nicole's saying bottom. So we're just gonna stick these little guys on here with this guy and this guy, and we're gonna hang it. Nicole's saying bottom. All right, we're going back to the bottom. He's sticky. came undone when I moved him. So we're gonna retape him on. I like to tape my stuff on, my embellishments, because I like to take them off when I want to change it to a different something or other. Nobody's gonna see the back anyway, right? So we kind of have our fun little, and we could move it up, and Audrey Hepburn could be down lower. We could cover up Audrey Hepburn too. Not that, you know, we don't want to perform any sacrilege on poor Audrey Hepburn. I'm going to take the little white guys out of here because they're thin enough to go through a little heart. So I've been trying to come up with 14 reasons why I love my children that aren't the same. Because, you know, I got a lot of kids. So I gotta come up with a lot of reasons why I love them. And I mean, it needs to be legitimate. I love them all for so many reasons, but they're very different children. But at the same time, some of them, you know, it's all the same reasons why I love them. I'm wondering if this is the wrong color. Should we switch to a darker? This is why I'm not a good embellisher, because I second guess too much. All right, well for now, we're gonna tie our little heart on. And we're gonna see if, do we need the smaller heart? So if we tie this guy on like so, he is too big, don't you think? He's too big. Let's try the littler guy. Where'd he go? Then we have to go to the littler key. Yeah, we're going littler. And we'll tie on the littler key. We'll go back to the little key. Although this one is still probably too big. That's okay. He works. I really kind of like these metal keys though. I was all excited when I found them. It doesn't take much to excite me though. Okay. So I'm going to tie this guy on. And I'm going to just simply tie it onto the twine. Like so. And then I'm going to take our fun little guys, the little doohickey guys we're adding, and I'm going to tie them on. Come back where they go. Back in the order. Come on. Well, it doesn't want to stay in the direction I want it to stay in. Okay. Now we'll just mess with it. I didn't think I need to shorten them. Okay. And I'll probably cut this guy down. Need to move him down a little. Get him where we want him. Should probably cut him just a little smaller. And then I can dovetail him. Two. Wow, does not want to cut. Here we go. This guy, dovetail him. Cut this guy a little shorter. This guy a little shorter. Okay, then we're going to just fix this guy, this side up a little. I think I'm going to leave that guy there. Dovetail our little bows. And this is what we're going to create. Wow, this guy does not want to cut. So my kids didn't have school today. So we had lots of, it was kind of nice since I didn't get to see them all weekend. Just have them be home all day. That is not what I tighten it. It's almost like it's an elastic. Okay, I'm a little shorter. He wants to spin. All right, we got to work on this because this guy is not tight enough and he wants to spin around. So we're going to untie him if we can. Now it's a little tiny string. Maybe I can just tighten it really hard. Try that. When all else fails, just pull on it really hard, right? Okay, and then just kind of zhuzh up, get it to stop twisting on you. Voila! Oop. I'm gonna move it up a little higher than Audrey Hepburn. So you still get the Audrey Hepburn. Would it be better to have the key on top? Nicole, you're so smart. Nicole, you really need to come here and craft with me. I need a lot of guidance, Nicole. You're right. The key should be on top of the whole little doohickey thing. So the only way really for me to fix that is to cut it off and use it to start over. There we go. Oh, Nicole, you're so smart. Okay, new string. Starting over. Okay, so first things first, we gotta tie it really tight because this is almost like elastic string, but it's thin enough to go through the paper heart. And that would be the other thing. Maybe I wouldn't use paper heart, but it's what I had. For some reason, I don't have any hearts, which seems really unlike me, but true. I have the hearts that we made the other day with the paper felty stuff, but I didn't put a hole in them. Yeah, Nicole, you need to come here. We're fun in Wisconsin, Nicole. We got the Packers. Although, this is how bad it is. I came home last night and I said something about the Baltimore, my husband was talking about the Baltimore football team. I'm like, the Orioles or whatever the baseball team is, I called the football team and I did not hear the end of it for the whole night. I'm not a football person. So it's just not staying tight when I go to tie it. Super tight. Okay. Now I'm going to put the key on. Because Nicole is so smart. So smart. Okay. So voila. Just kind of have a little foo-foo-y fun. Everybody needs a little bit of foo-foo-y fun, right? I keep trying to convince myself I need foo-foo-y fun. All right, I'm done. So that's how you do a watercolor background with chalk. You can also use watercolor markers to do it. It's very easy. There's lots of videos on my page about how to do the watercolor. It's called the splash technique, if you're ever curious about how to do the markers. Otherwise, this is how you do it with chalk. Super cute. We've got our fun little embellishment heart guy. And voila, we're done. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry this was a long one. They're not usually this long. This transfer is the Make It Monday bundle with the Grayson board. So it's super fun chalkboard. Great way. This is a really nice transfer if you've never chalked before to chalk with for the first time. So you can message me directly or comment. If you're on YouTube, you can also comment in the YouTube comments and I will get the message that you've messaged or commented. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you want to check out any of these amazing products, you can go right to www.chalkcouture.com/makingmaria, or you want to be in the Making Maria Crafty community, you can comment, add me. That's where the bundle is and all the other fun things that go on in that community. It's just a fun little free community of crafters, so that anybody is welcome to join. So thanks for hanging out with me. Have an amazing Tuesday, and I will be back at you tomorrow night. I make a live demo every night at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time right here on my business page on Facebook Live. So thanks, everybody. See ya.